Good evening, everyone. Assalamu alaikum. A very warm welcome to this interactive session on how SHRM certification drives enterprise performance and career growth. We have planned this useful conversation with our qualified alumni. And my name is Zahid Mubarak. I'm the founder of the HR Metrics. HR Metrics has the honor of being the only provider and the pioneer in Pakistan in introducing the SHRM certification program. So we have a galaxy of speakers today, and they're going to share with us their useful experiences. This is not a teaching webinar. We want the people to share with us the real life stories. And I would also urge the speakers to be as candid and as direct as possible. Because many times, the people, the HR professionals who contact us, they want to understand how this qualification, which is a great investment of time and money, so how this can help their career and the organization performance to grow, because both the things go hand in hand. And whether it is beneficial for their promotion, how it can get them a better job, how it can enhance their performance, how it can create a more pride in the profession that they pursue, how it can give them more sense of satisfaction and recognition among the peers. So there's a set of tangible and intangible benefits which are involved with this certification. Today's webinar is valid for 2 professional development credits. These credits are applicable for the recertification, and Sadia is going to provide the code that you can use in your app to recertify yourself, because 60 PDCs are required. Now, I can understand that in today's webinar, there are 2 types of attendees. One is the SHRM certified professional, majority of them as a distinguished speakers, and another group who is interested to understand more about these certifications. So we are going to tackle both the groups together. A word about the HR metrics. As I mentioned, we have the honor of doing unconventional things in Pakistan by building on the competencies of the HR professionals. Because the traditional concept about the HR was that it's a generic subject. That means that you cannot become a doctor, you cannot become a pilot, you cannot become an engineer, you cannot become an accountant unless you have a professional qualification, apart from the academic qualifications. So, but you can become an HR professional. This is I would say, a big setback to the credibility and the quality of the profession. And we challenge this concept because this was already challenged worldwide. The SHRM, which is the world's largest HR association, with more than 76 years of life, having footprints in 180 countries, more than 340,000 people all over the world as a member currently, and out of which nearly 150,000 certified. And we have a significant community in Pakistan now. Apart from that, we have the honor of launching the global D&I benchmark standards in Pakistan. We also launched the certification around the ISO 30414, which is a human capital disclosure standard. And we feel a lot of pride in saying that we have certified highest number of the people in the world on 30414, out of which at least 800 plus people are in Tokyo, Japan. This program, we have structured in a way that every speaker will have at least 5 minutes talk time to share the experience. We have left it their choice to cover any of the area. And but we've given them a direction as to what is to be covered without prescribing something. So almost after every 4 speakers, we'll have a round of like 5 minutes questions for the engagement of the participants. And that's how we're going to conclude. About the SHRM certification that we are discussing today, it's one of the very most reliable certification in the world. That this is based on a thorough research, having a clear set of behavioral and the technical competencies. And the certification is configured in a way that there are 2 certifications. One is called the SHRM CP, Certified Professional, and Senior Certified Professional. CP is for the people who execute the HR functions and processes, and who are responsible for the operational HR management. The SCP is meant for the senior certified professionals who enjoy the oversight of the HR teams, who report to somebody outside the HR, either to the CEO or the CEO or any other non-HR professional. And they are basically responsible for the planning, direction setting, and the leadership. This is a broad distinction, but obviously you want to learn more. We'll be happy to provide further information about that. The competency that I talked is broadly defined into two sets. I think may not be very much clear, so I would like to seek help from another document for more clarity. I hope you can see my screen. So the one group is called the behavioral set of competencies within the domain of the leadership, interpersonal, and the business acumen. And the further grouped into the 9 competency, the behavioral one. The functional competencies, primarily in 3 domains: people, workplace, and the organization. And again, 4 to 5 competencies under each category. So total 9 plus 13. There's one more competency about the employment laws within the US, but that is only applicable within the US, not outside the US. So this is how this competency standard is configured. Now, HR metrics focuses not just on training or the certification. Actually, we are interested in giving a lifelong learning career full of growth. For that matter, we do some of the things on a voluntary basis that we are not required to do because of certain obligation, but we feel that your experience with us should be an enriching experience. So some of the things that we have on our agenda that we are already doing it, and some of the things that we are doing with the more effectiveness or less effectiveness, that's a separate thing. But what are the things that we're doing I want to share with you? Number one, that we compile a directory of the people who are certified, and we share it to the employers through the newsletter and through the WhatsApp groups to promote more awareness so that they consider the competency-based qualification as a prerequisite for the senior HR jobs. Now, you would have seen in some of the advertisements, the people declare it as one of the preferred qualification. And I would suggest the certified professional to put their weight behind this process because you know the value of certification. So we also do the survey to understand the criticality of the competencies. Quite recently, we did a survey of the employers. 100% of the people said that the employer said it's critical. You can't have a generic profession and then expecting the competencies and develop others. So developing others on the competencies and not having own competencies, just like a cobbler's son without shoe. So we need to have this self-imposed thing on ourselves before we develop the organization. At the same time, we do survey of the alumni to understand how is it really driving their performance and their career growth? This is a question. And we want to understand in a realistic perspective. So we did a survey last year. I'll share with you the findings. Our currently surveys, this year surveys on. And one other thing that additional we are doing this year, that whosoever claims to have a better performance or claim to have a high achiever, to be a high achiever, we would like to get in touch with the employers with the consent of the candidate to determine the truth, and then would like to have some recognition framework, a public recognition to celebrate the success. And it's optional. Anybody who's volunteered to declare some achievement, we would like to go through a process. Our newsletters, the social media, the newspaper supplements are some of the tools to enhance the visibility of our alumni. And already we do the networking event, but our networking is not based on the exchanging the visiting cards. We believe in the strong competencies. You should be able to brand your capabilities and not just the typical other thing that the traditional HR does. So next month we have planned an event in Karachi on 14th of October. That's a World Standards Day. And eventually we will rotate to other cities also. We already done some of the events in the other cities. And the people who are high achievers, who are really the go-getters, we engage them in our seminars, webinar, conferences, and we record their videos in a way that these videos contribute towards elevating their brand, improving their visibility, creating pride in what they do, and inspiring others. One of the new initiatives that we are planning is slightly going with a delay, but there are a lot of knots to tie up on the various ends. That's called the Career Counselor Initiatives. We want authentic HR people to lead, to guide the universities on pursuing the career in the HR. Because by now we have a significant presence all over the country. And we encourage all the participants to display their badges, the metal badges that they should wear on their dresses during the conferences. Those of you who don't have, usually once a year, when I go to the conference, I'm happy to bring it for you. It costs, but in the past also, I provided free of cost to some of the people. I'm happy to do it for you as well, if you're able to inform me on time. The digital badge for the people who are qualified, who have a valid certification. Now, keep in mind that certification is not for life. It's for 3 years. There's a requirement for recertification through professional development credits or the examination. So please make sure you get yourself recertified, because if you write SHRM certification, your CV, resume, or any other social media, and it's not valid, that comes under the falsification. So you should avoid that kind of situation or embarrassment for you. Some organization may like to ask you to display your validity. So digital badge is data is managed by the SHRM. It's a good tool to ensure currency, to demonstrate currency of your certification. So make use of it. And we encourage the people to refer more people to become certified. So we have a discount referral incentive as well as for the discount on doing more certification. So this is not an exhaustive list of the thing that we are doing for our community, but some of the things that we are doing, and we wish to enhance the scope, depth, and breadth of what we do. So with this, I want to give you a reflection of the survey from the past. This is 2023 survey. I've shown, I think, before as well. So it tells us how the people feel, those who certified, in terms of the various tangible and intangible components. The tangible is the salary aspect, where you can see a clear indication in terms of the growth in the salary from up to 10 million down to the 100,000 rupees. They fall in the various brackets. Even in today's webinar, you will hear a story from somebody who quite recently said, I did a program even without going for certification. He could see a raise of 500,000. Not that he attended the program, but he could trigger initiatives in the organization that he learned during the certification. That 600,000, 500,000 on a monthly basis. So I'm not saying everyone gets the raise, but these are some of the positive indicators. And few other things like the confidence in their job, the pride, the recognition, the promotion within the organization, promotion outside the organization. And at least 1/3 of the segment said, we are not interested in going outside the organization because we feel more confident and recognized within our own organization. So these are some of the, you can say, benefits of certification, but you have to be careful in understanding that it doesn't guarantee you everything. It's a complement to your performance. Your ethical conduct is important. You would see that now everyone is struggling in the market to get certification, but you have to make sure that you obtain it to a authorized and authentic channel. Otherwise, even if you get certification and you have to hide yourself from the market, that the channel was unscrupulous, unauthentic, and this was a kind of stolen activity, I think it won't give you pride and you may not get the desired benefits. So with this, I stop, and I would like to request our first distinguished speaker, with the CEO of a company, Sadaf Hatif. We'd not like to go into the more introduction for the reason that time is very limited. I know it's the evening time. Everybody would like to manage it in a way that you're able to pay attention to your home affairs. So Sadaf, if you're there, over to you. Request every speaker to manage the talk within the 5 minutes so that I don't have to interrupt. So I stop over here and over to Sadaf.
Assalamu alaikum and good evening, everyone. I'll just switch on my video for a small while so that you can see me and recognize me, and then I will just put it off so that I don't consume the bandwidth for a long time. I would just thank Zahid Mubarak for giving an introduction of SHRM certification, which has helped a lot of people in their career. So for everyone, I am Sadaf Hatif. I'm the CEO of HRSG Outsourcing and a partner of HRSG International. As a CEO of a company that thrives on principles of excellence and innovation, it's an honor to be sharing my experience with all of you. As a lot of people would know, I started my career in operations field, and then I navigated my way through to the management field. And while I was in the operations field, I realized that in operations, efficiency and precision was paramount. However, as I navigated my career, I realized that it was very, very important that continuously evolving and learning was paramount. A change in mindset and upgrading my competencies was very, very important. And without that, I could not have achieved the position, the career that I have right now. I would not have been able to inspire anybody in my organization or be where I am today. With that in mind, I went for my SHRM certification in 2005. It was relatively, I would say, new in Pakistan at that time. However, Zahid was instrumental in convincing me and persuading me in going for that certification. So in 2005, I took my SHRM SCP. And as he said, it is not just taking that certification, it is getting recertified also. And with pride, I would say I got my third recertification this year. So it is not just getting the first certification and then forgetting about it. You need to get yourself recertified so you remain abreast. You remain current with what is happening, and your knowledge, your skills are updated. So I kept that momentum. I made sure that whatever is current, I remain alive with that. So this is about the certification that I took, and that has been instrumental with me for me in my journey. In my transition from operation to CEO, understanding the broader business landscape became crucial. SHRM certification equipped me with the tools to interpret financial statements, understand the market dynamics, and align HR strategies with business strategies, with business objectives. Because till the time I was into operations, a lot of things were very tactical. But the moment I got into business role, everything changed. Every aspect, every action had some relevance to the bottom line. Unless you look from that viewpoint, unless you look into things from that lens, you are looking from only one angle, and that is what is lacking in a lot of HR professionals. And my insistence to HR professional is, please focus on your business acumen. The moment you start looking into things from that perspective, your seat and in the management table is confirmed. Please focus on numbers. Be comfortable with numbers. Once you are comfortable with numbers, your progression is guaranteed. We are shy with numbers, and that is when numbers make us comfortable. That is what keeps us behind others. So once you are comfortable with numbers, things would change automatically. SHRM certification will help you in doing that. And this is my personal experience. When I took SHRM certification, it made me very, very comfortable, and that helped me a lot in my career progression. It taught me that numbers is just anything as any operation. Another pivotal competency that I gained through my this certification was relationship management. In operation, we focus more on processes and systems. But as I moved higher in my leadership role, I realized that the ability to build and nurture relationship was very, very important, be it client, employees, or stakeholders, as it is at the heart of anything. Relationship building is pivotal for the success of the enterprise. And if you don't focus on that, you are missing out on a major part of the business. So relationship building has to be there, be it your internal stakeholders or external stakeholders. relationship building is important for effective communication, managing conflict, and building empathy with your employees, your stakeholders. And as a leader, unless you have that, you would not be able to be on the other side, look from the other side and take a decision which would cover both angles. So all these things we miss, and we are not able to look from a different perspective, and the decision making is at times compromised. So from a leader's perspective, you have to look at a holistic picture. So SHRM certification helps you looking from all angles. So leadership is more about steering the ship. It is not about it is all about inspiring and guiding people towards a shared vision. My certification deepened my understanding of what a leadership means. It is not just taking decision. It is about empowering others. It is helping others to reach to their true potential. It is about the vision, influence, and courage to innovate with others, innovate with empowering people and sharing core values. So I would only, I know in the interest of time, I would not talk more. I would only conclude by saying, to anyone inspiring in their career, whatever the career may be, HR, operations, any field that they have, professional certification is important. It's not just about SHRM, any professional certification. It is very, very important, because these certifications not just give you career advancement, they not just give you competencies, but they enlighten you. They open your mindset. They shape you as individual, they shape you as professionals, and they shape you as leaders, and help you drive success for your organizations. Thank you. I hope
Super.
I remain within my time.
It is, definitely. Thank you so much, Sada, for being a very powerful voice. And we see a very strong role model of being a good HR professionals in the business leadership role. I think that's the something that everybody should aspire to be. That's a very inspiring role. Thank you so much. And I think after another 2 or 3 speakers, we're happy to have any question answers for more engagement. Okay, super. I think the numbers aspect and the other thing that you highlight is very critical. Business acumen combined with the numbers, that really puts HR in a very advantageous position. Okay, so let's move to the next speaker. And we have with us Samia Kamar. Thank you so much, Samia, for being available. Samia is Director People, S&P Global Pakistan. And I have the honor of supervising the classes, because previously I used to teach certification, but now because of the other wider engagements, it's not always possible. So we had more one-on-one interaction. So Samia, over to you. Thank you so much for your availability, and happy to listen to your experience.
Thank you so much, Zahid Saab. It has always been a wonderful experience of not only just talking to you about it, but also recalling and having a recollection of those memories when you used to teach us. So I'll share my story, and it's a growth story. And so it goes back to a couple of years. Obviously, I've been working within this space since 2006. So ever since 2009, I was trying to look around, try to get a sense of what is happening in the market. And at that time, just like Sadaf mentioned, very few people were certified. So obviously, I needed some more information, but I never got a chance to get that information. I was very lucky to meet Zahid Sahab in 2015. There was a workshop which was sponsored by S&P Global, and it was on analytics. So again, thanks to Sada for highlighting the importance of analytics. And during that 1 week's workshop in Karachi, I met with Zahid Sahab, and I asked him a similar question, like, how to go about certification. And probably it was destiny trying or helping me to get what I was aspiring for a couple of years. That's where Zahid Saab not only offered assistance, support, help, but right after I came back to Islamabad, he wanted me to get myself enrolled for that. And I'm very grateful to him because I started my prep work and I started attending it in partnership with my other peers as well. Having said that, I did not pass through the first time when I appeared. I was very demotivated, just like any other individual. However, Zahid Saab was always available. He was offering his support. He kept me going. So obviously, I bounced back and then I kind of, started working on it again. Now, to talk about the goals, I had two goals in mind. One obviously was that this was getting a buzz thing, but it was not just the buzz thing. My personal goals were very clear in my mind. The first goal that I had was to understand the best practices, what is happening in the industry, and to be up to speed and to have that confidence and also to have that knowledge so that when I am sitting on a table with the business stakeholders, I should not just be, having some fluff words, or not just talking about some things that just doesn't make sense to the business, because that was a lot of feedback that we as HR professionals get to hear, and it's very hard to absorb that, sometimes with a pinch of salt. But for me to prove myself, it was very important what's happening in terms of the industry where we are operating, and also to get to understand the global practices. So because I was working in a multinational organization, so for anyone to operate, or even if somebody is not operating in a multinational organization, it's always very important to keep up with the pace, what's happening in the industry. My second goal was very clear. I wanted to transition from the operational role to a strategic one, and I wanted to start operating at a strategic level. So this certification was a perfect way or a pathway for me to set myself up for success in line with the development plan that I had put in place for myself. Now, when I went ahead, and obviously I had a lot of courage to go through it the second time, that's when I passed it, and I was very, very happy. It was a very pivotal moment for me. And equally, I remember that it was a rewarding experience for me, but it was also a very great win for Zahid Saab, mainly because my other peers did not make that decision. They did not went ahead and they kind of quit that decision of going ahead and moving forward with that. Sometimes we keep connecting and they keep sharing that probably it was not a good decision, but then we all have to own our own decisions, and we need to do the right thing for ourselves. Now, talking about the benefits, how did that benefit? That's a very good question that I have heard from many professionals who continue to look for this as an opportunity. They are sometimes contemplating whether to go about it, whether not to go about it, whether that is going to help us have success, whether that is going to immediately get us the tangible outcomes in terms of salary, in terms of promotions. Look, first of all, my advice will be, again, if you take my advice, by all means, you have this opportunity to take it or leave it. I leave that upon you, because I'm not in a position to advise you in the yeah, unless and until I'm your mentor. But that's the reason that I'm here, just because to share my best friend, just to kind of share my growth journey and my career journey with you. So in case you would like to take the advice, my advice would be that do not associate your personal development plan with any tangible outcomes. The goal should not be focused on that, because if you are only focusing the goal on that, fine, it will be a very short-term goal. You need to build the capability, and the capability, as long as you are applying it on your role, it will reap benefits. It will get you to the outcome, but the outcome should not be you should not associate it in short-term benefits. But I'll tell you what I ultimately got. First of all, I got the accreditation, which in itself was a very rewarding experience. And obviously, it set me apart from the rest of the crowd. B was that it gave me an opportunity to network and connect with my global stakeholders with confidence. And I was in a position to kind of share best practices and talk about best practices and get to learn and work together in collaboration. So that was another win. And just like Sadia has highlighted so many competencies, I would also like to share that, look, we all can, but I'll come to that on a, let me just finish first of all my benefits that I got. I just don't want to digress. The third one was that I applied some of the key initiatives within the organization. Earlier in my operational role, as much as I wanted, I never had any ideas to implement. So it opened up the door for me to come up with some strategic initiatives, to talk about those initiatives, to get ideas from senior stakeholders, to implement them, to pivot them every time the initiative, with all the good intent and with all the good ideas, sometimes it doesn't get through. And it's very important that we collaborate and we build the relationship and we seek and we talk about those ideas, and then we pivot and then we learn and then we modify and tweak. So perhaps the first time you're implementing it may not be good enough, but you should always be open to getting to the feedback. Feedback for me is very important. It's like a blind spot. I feel like I have so many blind spots. As long as I'm not getting the feedback, I'll not never improve. So that really helped very well within the organization. Ultimately, it led to 2 stretch assignments, 2 promotions, and I've also recertified twice. And obviously, I'm not going to talk about the compensation part. I'm sure you all get to understand higher, the bigger role that we get, the more responsibility we end up with, it leads to higher compensation. So these were very 5 tangible benefits. Now, that said, this certification is going to help you. And I'm just going to quickly talk about, very quickly, about some of the situations that I'm sure you all can relate while working in the roles that you have. Look, just like Sadia said, analytical aptitude is very important. Sometimes all of a sudden the business will simply come and tell us to come up with some kind of analysis. So we should be knowing what we need to do and how we need to present and then how we need to interpret the story. So this is a perfect way, or this is the perfect certification for you to go through. The second is, every time there is some difficult conversation happening, or there is a situation, or there is a complaint, you need to wear your hat of a consultant, and you have to immediately give some kind of a consultation. Again, that is a very important competence that you need to build. Leadership and navigation, not going to talk much about it. If you really want to be a leader, or you are a leader, in either case, this is the way. This is the right certification for you. And then again, the list is very long. Nothing happens in the absence of relationship management. So you need to build relationships to negotiate certain things, to get, what you need to do within the organization, to influence things, to move the needle on the initiatives, or to solve the business problems for the business. DEI is a very hot topic, not going to talk much about it, but we feel very proud at S&P Global that we have implemented some wonderful initiatives around it. And even today, I was very busy discussing about an initiative, which I'm not going to share now. I'll just keep it for 2025. But hashtag inclusion is essential is one initiative that I feel extremely proud of, where we brought in a new source of talent, mainly from like people with disabilities and trans people. So I feel very, very proud about that cohort, and that successfully, that went very well. It was a success for all of us. And then we pivoted, and then we are also hiring. We continue to hire. Right now, we are at the identification phase, where we really want to know that how many people we have actually hired since 2022. So these are some of the things. And in the end, I'll simply say, I don't know if I'm on time or not. Zaiza, please tell me about the time check. Because I really want to wrap it up, okay. So lastly, I'll simply say that, look, I'll strongly encourage you to go through this, because this is the right path to embrace the challenge and to also leverage the opportunities it presents. The benefits extend beyond the personal growth, and it is something which is very important for us as HR professionals, that we are the drivers of success. If we are in the right position, we are able to drive that growth and success for the business, which the business is interested in, and look forward to us for that kind of consultation and advice. So that's the right choice if you are thinking about going ahead about it. And so thank you so much, Zahid Saab, for allowing me to share my story. I am available through LinkedIn in case you have any additional questions, any comments, anything you would like to discuss. I'm more than happy, but I would definitely recommend Zahid Saab, because he is the one who can always help you get through and stuff. I know he has stopped having the facilitation sessions, but I'm sure he'll still be there to give you advices. Thank you very much, Zahid Saab.
Super. Thank you so much for giving this credit, and I really appreciate. And I can clearly see your growth trajectory. This is remarkable. By the way, you also said something which is very important. It really resonates with my sentiments. I also learned somewhere that love your job, and the growth is bound to come. So it's not typical that we spend something and we immediately expect a return transaction. Because I remember in the first instance, 2010, 2011, when I went to a conference in the US, I had to, save the money for a lot of time, and there was no immediate return. But obviously, the things are bound to pay you back, and this is really very important. Okay, so we'll definitely have more opportunities for the question answers and subsequently also, because this is a process, and we'll keep benefiting from your experience. Okay, so thank you so much for this. Now, with us, the next speaker is Adil Ramani, very accomplished professional, head of the HR, Pakistan Petroleum Limited, one of the oil and gas exploration company. And thank you so much, Adil, for being with us. Looking forward to hear your perspective. Over to you.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone, and thank you, Zahid and HR Matrix for this webinar. I'm sure it will be very useful for the ones who are thinking of having this certification. So first of all, I would like to tell you about my background, who I am, and why I decided to do this certification. So I am in the industry, oil and gas industry. I started in 1996 with multinationals. It was initially Union Texas Petroleum, then I went to BP, and then OMV. So altogether 20 years in multinationals, and then about 7 years ago, I joined PPL, Pakistan Petroleum Limited, which is the second largest oil and gas company in Pakistan, one of the very large companies. We are the second largest taxpayers as well. So when I was in OMV, it is about, I would say 15 years ago, there was, I wanted to do this certification. That was in back of my head. In fact, that was the time when we used to study on books. It was not online. So I even ordered the set of SHRM certification books at that time. And somehow I just kept it aside and could not get time to really focus on that. I kept on growing in the professional life. And when I joined PPL, that was the time when I thought that now I think it is time to really try and get this certification. And Zahid, of course, was one of the reasons for that, because I have been associated with Zahid in HR forums for quite some time, and we always exchanged notes. And it was not only for me, but also for my team, because I thought that I have reached at a level where probably I could have in HR profession, but there are a lot of youngsters in my team who can get really big benefit out of this certification. So as a leader, I decided that I will appear in the test, and I also encouraged my team members to join me in that. So right now we are 4 persons who have certification in PPL HR. I've got SCP, and 3 of my colleagues have CP. And probably we are one of the few companies who have got a team of SHRM certified people. So when I appeared for this certification, I was already at a level where probably there is not much growth possible in terms of position or in terms of compensation. So my reason to appear in that certification was purely on professional side. So there was no immediate reaction which I was expecting in terms of salary or anything. But I wanted to improve my performance as well as credibility, and also the credibility of my team as HR team. And that is something which we achieved. And we achieved quite big time, because when you are working for a public sector organization, you have to have standards in place. You have to have systems in place, because a lot of people may have a different perception about public sector organizations. Or I also had a different perception before joining this company. But when I joined in, I realized that having processes, systems, standards in a public sector organization is more essential and important as compared to any private or multinational organizations, because there you have a lot of flexibility, freedom to do things. But in public sector organization, you have to follow standards, you have to follow processes, and you have to have credibility to implement the standards and processes. Because when you are working for a big public sector organization, which is an oil and gas business, which pays very well. And in a country like Pakistan, where a lot of people want to have jobs in good companies, so you get a lot of pressure from a lot of different quarters. So I am just taking that one competency now. It is the talent acquisition under people competency, which is a functional competency area. So after this certification, my team is more focused on our talent acquisition process. They have a better competency, and now we are even better in ensuring that whoever is being hired in this company is 100% on merit. And that gives you leverage to say no to a lot of quarters where they want to put their own people, or maybe the people they know. So in a public sector organization, if you are able to control or safeguard your recruitment, you can ensure that the company will be progressing and profitable. And PPL is definitely one of the most profitable company in public sector. And one of the reasons is having the good HR practices and good, competent HR professionals who have now got even the certification of SHRM. So I'm very happy and very proud of my team. Regarding performance, of course, I can't really tell you about my performance, whether it has enhanced or not, because that is something which my boss, the CEO, can probably do. But since I'm also a supervisor of 3 SHRM CP certified professionals, I can tell you with full confidence that my team has improved a lot after this certification. Now we talk different language. Now we have better practices in place. Now we know what we are doing and how we are doing. We were doing right even before, but now we are more structured. This year we have started a project of leadership competency framework development and implementation in PPL. In different ways, it was already there, but now we want to have across the company a standard framework of competencies in various functional areas. So this project we are starting, and I'm starting with HR as well. So as a pilot project, one of the 2 pilot projects, I will put HR in that, so that if there is any gaps, we can remove those gaps as well. We can develop our individual, and definitely SHRM certification is one of the ways to achieve that. And I'm also encouraging more of my team members to try their luck and try to get this. So yeah, this is my small speech. I would again thank Zahid for encouragement to our HR fraternity to do that. I'm also wearing this small badge which Zahid mentioned, and this is a gift from Zahid. So I would say it has more value than if I would have bought it. So thank you, Zahid, and thank you, everyone.
Gives you a lot of pride. Thank you so much, Adil. Very inspiring. We look forward to more learning next month. As I mentioned, hopefully we'll be gathering some of the CEOs in Karachi, and we would encourage all the certified, even from the other cities also, whosoever can join, so that at least the business leaders should also be aware of the competency aspect, because they also suffer from a perception. The perception is that HR is something that doesn't really require competency. So the aspect that you highlighted, obviously the credibility one is very critical, right? Whatever we say, we need to have the element of, third-party validation over there. And you mentioned about the standardization, speaking in one common language, all very pertinent aspects. Thank you for that. We'll have one more speakers and then the opportunity for some question answers. And with this, we go to another inspiring speaker, Bakhar Ahmed, Group Head HR, Zari Taraqqiyati Bank Limited. So, Bakhar, thanks for your availability and hoping for your views. Thank you.
Thank you, Zahid. I don't know, am I visible now?
Very much. Clear. Thank you.
First of all, thank you, Zahid, for this opportunity and helping me to become part of the SHRM fraternity also. I actually started my journey nearly a decade back with SHRM, 2014 onwards. And in this 10 years after getting my SCP certification, I've joined a few institutions, starting from 0 day, meaning some institutions that were coming up, a new bank in Pakistan. My industry is banking, so a new bank coming in Pakistan, so I was able to set up that. And similarly, right now I'm with one of the oldest institutions, in the sense that it has over 6 decades of performance. And in meanwhile, also I joined an institution that was global as well, so a multinational institution, and all in banking. So when I look towards how SHRM helped me, how the certification helped me, uh, there's a long list that I was able to apply to those institutions. For example, if it's a new institution, nobody knows about it, State Bank has not given its a license has to come up, and you are looking towards your credentials, what how you attract HR. So for that, talent acquisition, I would say communication and helping people to take the leap of faith with you clearly makes very important for that institution to become an institution that it is today. So I believe that part of SHRM I utilized in those days. Then I moved on to I worked also got an opportunity to work with a multinational banking institution. Over there, the global mindset helped me a lot, in the sense to understand people who were talking with us. We had people, you would understand that meetings of HR was across 20 countries, and we were talking with each other. So we are at 9 p.m. in Pakistan, somebody at 9 a.m. in New York. We were having discussion, and throughout we had people from Africa, from Europe, from Asia connecting, and all HR heads working together. So if I never had the standard language to understand what they were talking about, SHRM actually was a bridge for me in that sense. It helped me to understand what they were talking about, and they were able to understand my language too. Because in some societies, these HR practices are much more ingrained and much more mature than in Pakistan, as we see as of today. And similarly, in an institution that right now where I'm working, it has over 6 decades of service given in the industry, and it's a public sector institution where a lot of things have already been considered to be casted in stone, especially practices of HR. But when you come here again, you see that a lot of things, the business acumen helps you a lot. People now know that this HR guy also understands business, what it's all about. And secondly, employee labor relationship, because unions are there, you need to understand how to go about it, and then apply those practices, those understandings that you have gathered through SHRM into day-to-day affairs of the institution, to make sure that the institution also grows, people are also happy, and the overall in the industry also benefits. And secondly, I cannot miss COVID in this decade, because we have all experienced something which we haven't seen before. And during COVID, you see people retention as well as engagement. So one should say employee engagement and retention skill or studied through SHRM helped the institution a lot. Meaning, just a few weeks before COVID, we would be looking into solutions. Our staff should come in, we should have attendance system automated, in the sense that people should come and know where they are, where they're working. And once COVID set in, you're ready to allow them to not only work from home, but flexible hours, flexible times. And still, interestingly, you'll see that the bank gained a lot of efficiency also during those days when people were working from home. Why? Because they were motivated enough, they were engaged enough to make sure that institutions work. So again, I would say that right now, still I'm a student, in the sense that we keep on chatting with Zaisab, always looking forward that whenever he attends a meeting, he'll come up with a meeting for us and share with the new concepts that he learned internationally. And secondly, this certification not only gives you confidence that what HR is all about, but also helps you to help people understand what HR can do for them. That is again the key question, because if people trust, then the organizations grow. And people would only trust if HR is ethical and HR is competent enough. And sorry for my throat because of these uh, flu and things like that, but still, I hope I was able to get my message across.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for making it convenient. Bakr has been very instrumental in bringing change in Pakistan. Pakistan first bank, export-import bank, which was set up by the State Bank of Pakistan. And he is always at the forefront of this mutual learning, I think, activities. Thanks, Bakr, for your role modeling. Okay, so we take a pause for 5 minutes. This is an opportunity to interact, have some question, comments on what has been said or anything around that, because we have, I think, plenty of qualified people to answer your questions. So and that's what is the great opportunity. So we take a pause for some time. Anyone with any comments, questions, I'll definitely like you to raise your hand. If you have something to say, you can type in the chat box. You can have your video on. You can speak in the voice mode without video, but is anyone who wants to say something till now? Any question, comment?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead. Amash Malik, quickly, a very short introduction, your name and organization, and then your question. Yeah, go ahead. We can't hear you, Amash. Amash, we can't hear you.
Actually, I would like to first of all declare that I'm currently not working. I'm an AHR student. I'm currently in the final semester of my degree. And actually, I had a question, but it's not related to the certification. Can I go ahead with it?
Go ahead.
Or
Go ahead.
shall I
Yeah.
not?
Mhm.
Okay, great. So actually, I'm a HR student. I'm currently doing my master's in the final semester. But actually, I have got a visual impairment disability. So I just
Mhm.
wanted to actually get an expert that how should I approach my career, and if you want to give me any advice regarding the career path, how should I move forward? What are the organizations which are taking some steps to become more inclusive? Like, what are the more inclusive organizations, and what are the programs which are currently being actually held by those organizations? So just needed a kind of advice because I'm about to
Good.
start my professional career. So just just wanted to get an
Right.
advice considering my disability. Thank you.
Sure. Is there anyone from the speakers who want to respond to this question?
I
Yes,
can definitely take this question.
Yeah.
Bakar Saab, please go ahead. Seems
Mhm.
like he wanted to
No,
speak.
I was also taking that. You see, organizations, even in public sector organization or in banking industry, we consider people who are differently abled. So if you feel that one thing is a bit lacking, we believe that the employee or person who's looking for an assignment could serve the institution in a different way. And there are already assignments where you've seen people work, and they are working with the institution also. Sorry for my throat, but
It's
that's
okay.
what.
You can
So,
take a pause. No problem. Mhm.
so there are jobs available. There's nothing stopping you from going for a career. But always remember that institutions now are very conscious for differently able people. They have options also.
True. True. Yeah. Thank you so much. Samia, you want to add on?
Zahid Saab, yes, definitely. I just have guests around. So in case there is some kind of noise, please bear with me. All
It's
right. So
okay.
as an organization, we are very much interested in terms of creating that pipeline. So first of all, I would say that feel free to reach out to us. We continue to hire through our campus recruitment. A couple of things that we do, I am happy to share. We provide accessibility. So for us, accommodation is very critical. People that have been with us, we have provided them some kind of an equipment who were visually impaired. There are special equipments for them to work where they can listen and then they can work on. So as an organization, we provide that. We have other accommodations as well, such as wheelchairs, but that is obviously for people who actually need that. Other than that, internally, we were able to build some infrastructure with which we are not very happy or satisfied at this stage, because we definitely have some space constraints. At this stage, we are trying to move our location from this to another one. So obviously there is some work going on. So we have made some special considerations which we are going to think of, such as there is going to be a wheelchair ramp. There are going to be special signages in the new space, so that and some of the things we were able to implement, such as gender neutral washrooms and stuff. So we continue to do that. But at the same time, we have received a lot of feedback from our colleagues that there are some constraints for them, such as the very small space, let's say in the elevator, where the wheelchairs cannot be accommodated. So we have taken all of that feedback and we'll make sure that we implement that in the other space. Other than that, we have made sure that as an organization, when the interview happens, there is a person on the panel who represents this group with the interviewers to kind of block the biases. While we all continue to have cognitive biases, we cannot completely put a block to it, but we can try to minimize that. So this is another step that we have taken, and we continue to have the mindset shift of our people leaders. We conducted workshops in partnership with Now PDP, and now there is going to be another iteration this year, where rest of the people leaders who joined after 2022, they are going to be educated around that. So just to name a few of them, there are some of the initiatives that we continue to commit to, and we are highly committed as an organization to source and then hire the talent.
Very informative. Thank you so much for highlighting. I'm sure many more organizations would be having some similar opportunities. We do with the GDIB awards, and we are aware of some of the additional organizations. For example, Standard Chartered is one of them. They also have accommodation, and they don't have a predetermined position. They look at the particular situation, and then they try to support in whatever they could do. But you have to keep in mind that the organization has to follow the protocols of the selections and the placement. It cannot be outrightly sort of any kind of direct shortcut to it. Okay, I hope you got your response, Amash. Brilliant.
Rahid, if I take a minute to add something.
Yeah, go ahead. Sure.
Amash, generally what we do, we hire fresh graduates under trainee program, and our trainee program is based on merit. But of course, if there is any especially able person who can compete and come to that merit, we always encourage that. But this time we are also thinking, and maybe if it materializes, then we may announce a separate trainee program for especially able people. So just keep in touch, and if that comes in, we will let you know, and then you can compete with your especially able people, and I think that will increase your chance of getting selected.
Super. Again, very informative. Thank you so much, Adil, for the addition. Okay, so let's move on to our, continue with our episode. Our next speaker now is Mr. Junaid Jumani, Chief Human Resource Officer, AGP Limited, and OBS AGP Private Limited. Thank you so much, Junaid Saab, for your presence. Looking forward to hear your perspective on, how the SHRM certification has really driven, because I know you're certified for quite some time. So what do you?
Thank you, Zahid Saab, first of all, for providing this opportunity to me. As like my other colleagues, yes, I've been convinced by Zahid Saab and to get the certification. He started convincing me in 2015, and eventually I got myself registered for 2018 session after my classes and everything. So Yes, as so many others, I'm very thankful to Zaisa. And since then, we are continuously in touch with so many of things. Uh, why I have done this certification? Actually, after so many years of experience, I thought that I should, you know, uh, m- tested my credential, through some internationally certifications. So then that's why I've got enrolled in this certification. Uh, I was thinking that I know everything about HR when I have got registered, and for me, diversity was only limited to gender diversity. But when I've got registered for SHRM and I've started learning their material and everything, I get to know that the diversity is not limited to gender diversity, but it caters everything comes in the organization. It caters your suppliers diversity. It deals with your facility diversity, products diversity, and everything. Uh, This certifications deal with the basic body of competency and knowledge, which includes everything, and it deals with your business, relationship management, communication, uh, your compensation and benefit, your organization sustainability, your the HR professional should be comfortable with technology, so that you can come up with the data that that is needed to your board, your senior leadership, and sometimes it needs to your for your presentation, etc. So after doing the certification, uh, I have jotted down few points that the HR professional should have such things. First of all, ethics is very important. Then only you can be a role model for the organization, because as HR, the whole organization looks at you, because you are the custodian of so many of policies. Your business acumen should be very, very strong. Then only if you know the business, then only you can understand their challenges and you can come up with a solution. Your relationship management should be very, very strong. It's nowadays, HR is not that you only do a back office job and sits only on your seat and do your things only. You have to come out of your comfort zone and uh, talk to your people and make them speak of their problem so that it can be resolved. Uh, your goal should be to make your organization sustainable, not only for the current for the present, but for the future also. You have to work on succession planning. You have to create a talent pipeline. You have to have a very strong performance management system so that you can retain your talent. And as I've covered earlier, that your knowledge for technology and whatever is going on in the industry should be very, very strong. uh, I now want to cover that what I have achieved after my this learning, after the certification. uh, in 2022, after 4 years of my certification and practicing the things that I've learned in SHRM, I was given an opportunity to be on the team on which only CEO was talking to the commercial directors. So I was part of it for around 2 years, and the objective was that I should learn whatever has been missed, and actually they provided me an opportunity to closely learn the business, and if I have missed anything which is not covered by normal meetings, etc., so I can learn them. And I've been with them in every meetings and the field, and their budgeting, in their everything. So it helped me a lot to understand the business and everything. I was given an additional role of plant head for 2 years so that, I can improve their processes and the systems and to develop uh, the leadership who can then lead to the plant and can deliver the strategy that has been agreed with the board. Uh, I'm a part of an executive committee uh, who is responsible for acquiring new businesses. Normally, in the committees I'm talking about, they prefer that finance guy or CFO has to be there. But in my case, after this all learning that I've got from SHRM, I was given an opportunity to be a part of these all forums. So, I am a part of a new business acquisition committee and so many other committees like that. They are dealing with businesses and, the exploration, etc. Uh, Currently, I look after the group HR, and we have 5 companies in which we have around 4,500 employees and having a business of around 30 million. And we have been ranked 6th in the pharma industry. So, these are my learning and these are my achievements that I've got after doing my SHRM certification. Uh, what I conclude with my today's discussion, uh, after this certification, I've stopped thinking about my growth, my career progression. I've just focused on what I am, learning and what experience I am getting. Then, then the second part is eventually to come. If they have to retain me, then they have to provide me the right career path, right perks and benefits to keep me engaged with the organization. So that's all from my side. I don't know I have justified this time and added some value or not, but thank you very much for all of you to listening me and providing me this opportunity. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you, Junaid Saab. I would say it's a very strong value addition. In fact, the point that you highlight, how to be an effective HR leader, that's very pertinent because having presence at the top management and your interaction with the board with a strong business acumen, that makes you a true representative of the HR because we need to understand the business in a better way so as to translate those things into the actionable HR strategy. That's the key thing. And I think I can see a lineup of the accolades, the certificates, appreciation awards in your background, that it's a clear endorsement of the strategy, I think, that you are chasing. D and I can acknowledge a tremendous achievement and keep it up.
Thank you. Thank you.
So with this, we move to our next speaker, and Hemina Kanchwala. And she is Deputy General Manager, Ferosans Laboratories Limited, and based in Lahore. Thank you, Tamina. Over to you.
Zaid Saab. I hope I am audible enough for people around.
Very well.
Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Thank you, Zaid Saab, for inviting me first and foremost. I'm so glad to see you after quite long.
Thank you.
All right. So for the people, some of the people may know me who I can see a lot many classmates that are connected, but some of them must not know me. So let me first introduce or give a brief about myself. So I bring with me around 18 years of experience working with diversified and multicultural industries across multiple HR disciplines. I have been part of banking sector whereby I worked with Atlas Bank Limited in past. That was my first job. I worked with an NGO that is Arhan Development Network. I worked with conventional and fashion retail, including Sana Safinas, Al Karam, and Metro Cash and Carry. I've also worked with an FMCG, Day Fresh Milk, if you must have heard of it. And currently, I'm associated with Ferosans Laboratories Limited as Deputy General Manager, HR. And I'm heading the HR department, catering to a total base of more than 4,000 employees, including head office, our biosciences plant, which is again in Lahore, and our production plant, which is based in Nowshera, KPK. So the question that comes in mind of everyone is that why and when did I pass SHRM certification and why did I opt for it? I think I will answer the second question first. Like I was hearing out other colleagues over here, and likewise some of the colleagues here, I attempted it twice. Once in year 2000 when I just could not pass it, and I attempted it again, and I passed it in 2002, thanks to Zaid Saab and his team. As for why I did SHRM certification or why I opted for SHRM's SCP, so when I was working and when I started my career during my tenure with different organizations, especially when I was climbing the ladder and when I was working as head of HR at different places, I used to keep hearing the challenges from the management that we are missing these structures, we don't have aligned goals, our people work in silos, we are not centralized, we do not have systems, we have poor workforce management, we have retention issues, people leave us, we want to go global, but we don't know how to deal with it. Our leadership does not know how to navigate the situation. Our people do not know how to work with leaderships at different levels. So these were all the questions that I was coming up with, or the management was focusing on at different levels. So when I was searching about the certifications which could help me sustain the organization or to work with the organization on these matters, I found SHRM certificate to be the most appropriate one at that point in time, and I opted for it. So let's talk about how SHRM helped me in various situations. So when we talk about, because there are two components of SHRM certification, there is one is behavioral competency and the other one is knowledge-based competency. So when I talk about behavioral competencies, I think most of our colleagues have already spoken about business acumen. Business acumen is one of those competencies which is very pivotal when you have to help align organizational goals. If you are well aware of business acumen, if you're well aware of what your business is doing, if you're well aware of the targets, if you're well aware of what the management is wanting, you are able to help them out in order to put things through to them, So that was one of the basic behavioral competency that I was able to learn during my certification. I could see that other behavioral competencies like communication, leadership and navigation, the relationship management, these competencies also help me in bringing synergy and alignment along the key stakeholders, especially where I could see people were working in silos or people were not really understanding how to go about with it, or where people were not able to align their strategic goals with the company organization goals. So that's where it helped me a lot. The certification helped me a lot. I was able to work on structural alignment, workforce planning, implement grading structure, providing career paths for the better growth of employees, helping them to retain the staff. And that was all because I had gone through the complete details of how to navigate the situations or how to use the behavioral competencies or my knowledge skills competencies in order to work with the leadership over it, So that really helped me out in a way. I was currently I'm also the part of the board. So the certification, because of my experience, because of my education, because of SHRM certification, because of having an added edge over others, I've been included into that particular board as well. So I believe if I conclude, as Stephen Covey has mentioned it correctly in his book, trust is something that you need to acquire from the leadership. And trust is the function of two things: character and competence. Character includes your integrity, your motive, and your intent with people. Competency includes capabilities, your skill, and your track record. And both are very vital for your development. Many people have asked me that, is there any impact of SHRM certification? Does it impact in any monetary growth or any professional growth at all? So like Samia mentioned and like Zaid Saab also mentioned, that those who wish to pursue this certificate should not try to associate it with tangible outcomes. However, I would like to re-emphasize on the fact that international accreditations do help you in polishing your skill set. It did help me a great deal with my professional and personal situations using navigation, communication, and relationship management. It also helped me in personal arena. On the work front, if I see, it ended up with a position in an industry that was like a dream come true. I believe the more you invest in your development growth, the more you climb the trajectory to the personal and professional growth. So this is all from my end, Zahid sir. Thank you so very much.
Thank you, Amina, for very crisp and to the point. And you've given us a good assortment of some of the things that you've been able to pluck from the certification and use at the workplace. Thanks a lot for
Thank you, Zahid
your
sir.
very structured ideas. Okay, so we have now another speaker, and let's listen to the views of Umair Ibrahim, Senior Manager, HRBP, Aga Khan University, Pakistan. Umair gets in touch with me off and on the various subjects, and over to you, Umair. We look forward to hear your story. Congratulations also for your, I think, promotion quite recently. But we would leave it to your, how do you, describe your journey? Over to you. Thank you.
Right. Thank you so much. Assalamu alaikum, everyone. Hello. Myself, Umair Mohammad Ibrahim. I am a SHRM certified professional. I am currently working as Senior Manager, Human Resource Business Partner. Primarily, I look after health services of the Aga Khan University. And I have an overall experience of more than 13 years in the field of human resources. So we are an organization of 17,000 people globally. And if you talk about Pakistan, it is 14,000 plus. It is the Aga Khan University, under which it comes the Aga Khan University Health Services. I am the HRBP for Health Services. It has a workforce of around 9,000 people. And my clientele spans over around 4,000 employees who are spread in Karachi at the main campus, which is at the Stadium Road campus, in the off-campus hospitals that we have, 3 in Karachi and 1 in Hyderabad. We are planning to have a hospital in Islamabad as well. So that's up good news for you and the people who live there and look for quality healthcare. And it is also spread across Pakistan. So if I talk about SHRM, certainly I used to connect with Zahid Saab even before I was certified. Zahid Saab is a household name in the field of human resources. So who is there who does not know about Zahid Saab? He carries the flag of human resources and SHRM in Pakistan and globally, and represents Pakistan. So I had a couple of conversations with him, and he motivated me to go for it. Prior to that, I haven't thought about it, but I did not know that what bigger impact it has on HR professionals, and one should go for it. So during my talk, I would be talking about why SHRM and why HR professionals must go for that. So actually, the SHRM BASC, which is Body of Applied Skills and Knowledge, equips us with what is required more than just being an HR professional or having HR expertise. So it develops us as well-rounded HR professionals who are capable of taking up the challenges of current VUCA world, which continues to change, which continues to give us surprises. So if you talk about, apart from HR expertise that it develops in us, the behavioral competencies are worth mentioning here, whether it be leadership and navigation, the ethical practices to be followed, how to carry out relationship management in a dynamic organization, how to maintain optimal communication levels, how to be globally and culturally effective, what is the business acumen for HR leaders in the modern industry. So it helps us to grasp such kind of concepts to be able to better understand the businesses that we serve. It also helps us to navigate well through the dynamics of the organization, and also it presents the desired HR. It enables us to present the HR solutions for which the organization looks up to us, right? So in a sense that I would say that it helps you, grab that kind of seat or space in the executive meetings that you serve on. So by having HR certification and having knowledge and skills that is required to be effective, you can add value to the table. Then, if I talk about the professional benefits, it has various direct and indirect professional benefits for us and for the organizations that we serve. First and foremost, we all look for career advancement. And while our performance, our knowledge, our own efforts play a pivotal role in our promotions, and as we progress forward, the SHRM certification is a tag that we all carry. It adds value to your CV. It creates that kind of competitive advantage for you to become on the top of the preferred candidates for the higher positions, whether you talk about internal promotions, whether you contest against the internal opportunities arising within your organization, within the country or origins that you operate with. So you can take advantage of that. If you talk about knowledge and skills enhancement, the certificate actually equips us with up-to-date knowledge and skills, which makes us more effective in our roles. The certified individuals are, given more value in discussions during meetings, considering that they possess the up-to-date knowledge and skills to take things forward in the right manner. And I can give you example of that because I started in 2021 and I acquired the certification in the year 2022. So at that time, I started with presenting human resources related information and data to the leadership of the health services. And when they came to know that I got recently certified from SHRM, they started asking me many questions. For example, what is the time to fill? What are the strategies that you can adopt? Can we have the information in an organized manner? For them, we developed HR dashboards as well. What is the yield ratio? What is the cost per hire? So they started asking me for what can be the HR metrics that we can review on a fortnightly basis. So we started working on that. Then if you talk about networking opportunities, certainly for the people who are there in the market, they always like to connect with the people who have that valid credentials. And if you talk about SHRM, which is a global certification, it adds to your profile. I am not very active over LinkedIn, which I think I need to work upon because there are many things which I do, but those are not projected over here. But what I can see that as soon as I got certified, I updated my LinkedIn, put up a post there that I got certified, and the connections and followers that I had immediately doubled. So that shows the impact of people want to connect with people who have those authentic and valid and global credentials attached to them. If you talk about what are the organizational benefits that organizations reap from having certified professionals, that we all know that organizations try to carry the global accreditations, certifications, and they try to be to become compliant to certain international standards in order to become preferred ones to do business with. Having SHRM certified professionals in an organization also boosts its credibility in HR practices implemented by it. And it also results in the trust level by the partner organizations. So one can have a look at number of certified professionals in organization. It matters for the partner organizations as well. So being at the Aachen University, we collaborate globally with many organizations. And we are JCI certified, ISO certified. We also have certification from SafeCare. So all such accreditation certification play a part in it. And having SHRM certified professional is something that also adds value to the organization. And then it also results in improved HR practices because I know that when we started with SHRM learning, our instructors were there. Dr. Sitwas was there, who was my course instructor. So we had to unlearn a lot, because when it comes to application of knowledge and skills in various HR related scenarios, we always apply that personal or experiential filters to it, which is actually not right. That may be not the right solution in that certain situation. So we had to unlearn a lot in order for us, to be able to grasp the knowledge that SHRM or SHRM provides us, and to be able to, clear the certification examination. Then,
Anand, please mute yourself. Okay. Go
then
ahead.
if you ask about what direct professional benefit or experience I had post SHRM certification, is that it had a very, very positive impact on my career, as it suddenly boosted my progression within the organization. I witnessed that I was being immediately noticed, given value by the HR leaders within my organization, as well as the business leaders. And I was given more space and discussion during meetings and considered for higher roles within my organization. And one of the interesting example is that Aga Khan University has now formally started with offering SHRM certification to the key HR members. So currently we have, signed bond with two of the HR members who will be provided training on SHRM certification. And my vice president human resources actually called me into his office and asked all the details about certification. And the director of learning and development was also there. So they actually had a very detailed discussion with me, and only after being convinced, they offered it to other HR members within my organization. So this is a testament to the SHRM certification, that it really convinces leadership to have certified people within the organization. Also, it was witnessed in the form of that I got a career break after almost 4 years. And I think it was 2 or 3 months after I got certified. So I think I would say that it was a kind of insecurity to the HR leadership that I would be leaving them soon. So I was given a career break after 4 years. I became manager talent acquisition, and I looked after health services. Then it was also followed by my recent promotion as senior manager, human resource business partner for health services. It was just after 2 years. So I can say that within 6 years, I got 2 promotions, and it will inshallah continue. So apart from my performance, my efforts, my input, and the prayers of my family and friends, the SHRM certification played a pivotal role in my career. I would just conclude with the remarks that with whatever benefits that we just talked about, I would encourage, I can vouch for it, that SHRM certification actually adds value to your career, to you as a HR professional, and to the organizations that you serve. And a promising learning journey and career is there for you. So that's all from my side. I hope that I was able to, present what I actually wanted to. Thank you.
Very nice, Umair. You have presented us a bouquet of benefits that you have aware. I think the key among them is your early promotions, and most important, that you become a reference point for the organization, the others, to benchmark in terms of qualification, in terms of your overall performance, which is commendable. Brilliant. And thank you so much for sharing with us. With this, we would like to move to our next speaker, a celebrity in the HR, Sabah Hassan, Head of Human Resources and Talent Management, Mustaqim Dyeing and Printing Industries. Thank you so much, Sabah, for sparing time. Looking forward to hear your perspective. Okay, but short of it, in the interest of the time, as I'm keeping an eye on the clock, for everyone, I would request the remaining speakers to, help us in managing within the time so that we can conclude within the, allocated time, or maybe there could be a slippage of 5 to 10 minutes, but overall, but not beyond that. So please keep that factor in mind, everyone. So over to you, Sabah.
Okay, Assalamu alaikum. I hope I'm audible. And if I'm audible, so I would just like to thank Zahid, first of all, for having me here, like always in every session. After getting my SHRM credential, I would just give the credit of that credential that I have been the part of the every important platform of HR Matrix, and all the credit goes to you. Thank you so much, Ajhaji. I would just go through my brief profile, but if you don't mind, I would just like to append my LinkedIn profile link in the chat box, which I've already done, so everyone can see and refer to my profile afterwards. On a brief note, Sabah Hassan, I'm working as a head of HR and OD with Mustaqim Industries and possessing like 20 plus years of HR experience, having held different pivotal positions in HR and OD and both the service and manufacturing sectors of the public and private both sectors. So this was a brief about me. Now moving towards the importance that and what contributions has SHRM brought to me. So I understand that being in a senior leadership role, remaining competitive in any organization is crucial, because the guidance that you provide on business strategy, particularly in HR, can be the key factor that elevates an organization from simply performing well to truly excelling. And I always tell my students in different institutions when I go there to deliver some lectures that certifications will never hurt you. So just make sure they make sense for you and the experience that you have. So if we are making a candidate comparison, for example, let's say we have two candidates of the similar degrees and 3 years of experience in the field. So if the other person has a certification, he will always get the edge for being shortlisted for the interview. It doesn't mean that he'll get hired, but his or her resume will be more attractive, and this is for sure, because being in the HR and looking after for talent acquisition for more than a decade now, I'm sure that every Zoom mate in this meeting and across the board, they must be using the same strategy, because the people who take the certification, and I'm not saying this, but the SHRM sources say it, that the people who pass the SHRM CP certification, they are on the probability of getting 15% greater salary hikes, while those of SHRM SCP, possessing SHRM SCP credential, they can get the 14% more salary hike as compared to the other non-passers. And 80% of the HR professionals, they have the likelihood of getting shortlisted and getting promoted, at the same time. So this is what the SHRM sources say. Now this is a power of certification that my all Zoom mates have talked about, whom I have listened to so far. But I would just like to add on that SHRM CP and SHRM SCP certifications are, of course, globally recognized. They signal a high level of expertise and commitment to the HR professionals. And these certifications validate your ability to apply HR principles in real world scenarios, making you an asset to the organization. And believe me, this is what I am telling you from my experience that I have experienced after I got this credential, and so far. And this is a great journey that I'm enjoying right now. So with the increasing demand for qualified HR professionals, SHRM certification can significantly boost your career prospects and open doors to new opportunities. And many my HR professionals that I talk about, and they say they are hesitant to pursue SHRM certification due to many reasons, but the main concerns being like about cost, time commitment, and the fear of exam failure. So I understand that these are valid considerations, but the long-term benefits, they often outweigh the initial challenges. So I believe that investing in SHRM certification is an investment in your future. While the upfront cost may seem daunting, the potential for increased earning and career advancement makes it worthwhile. So, if I now coming back to my personal experience after earning my certification, my career trajectory within the organization has been, has seen the significant growth. I'm telling you, the certification has not only enriched my role, but has also deepened my expertise across different divisions of my organizations. My authority and role that was limiting only to the 4 divisions of the organization, that has now doubled. It's like 100% increase, and now I'm overseeing the operations of my 4 distinct divisions of a textile firm, which has more than 10,000 co-workers right now. So this is a management confidence in my capabilities that has been fostered, allowing me to take on more responsibilities, particularly in areas where strategic insight and leadership are paramount. So I give credit to this certification. So one of the most notable improvement on personal load in my skill that has been the navigation skill, especially in making the complex situations, relationship, and working effectively with challenging individuals. This has been crucial in consultation, relationship management, where I have seen tangible results in fostering better team dynamics and project outcomes. So, and I would just like to mention that shortly after passing this exam, I was tasked with a project that is critical to improving the enterprise's bottom line, because many of my Zoom mates, they previously mentioned, especially Sadaf and Tehnina, the knowledge of the business acumen is very important, is imperative. So the development and implementation of a balanced scorecard for my organization, which leverages the skills through which I learned through SHRM's BAS, which is Body of Applied Skill and Knowledge. So I successfully implemented this model for over 5,000 plus co-workers. And this initiative has not only optimized our performance metrics, but has also driven significant enhancements in our pay for performance culture. So it further solidifies the organization's competitive edge. So considering Zahid's request of being short in our speeches, so I would just like to mention last few things, that as for all the important salary raise, this will be my first performance evaluations in attaining this certification. So finger crossed. On a lighter note, I'm quite optimistic about a promotion and a handsome salary bump. But who knows, I might even treat myself for a well-deserved vacation if all goes well. So, to all the youngbies out there who are listening to me and who are still confused whether they have to go for this certification, I assure you that this is a path forward to success, and this is the right time to make it from confusion to certification. And here I end my 2 cents. Thank you so much for giving me time.
Super. Well, I know, Sabah, at the various forums, you promote this the competency-based HR. You inspire many people, and the people that contact us, they give you a reference. It's a very powerful voice. Okay, so we pause for 5 minutes. Any questions, comments by the attendees? I think previously, Samantha, if you're around, we are happy to have your question if you're available, because you last time asked a question and that was we could not respond to it. Okay. Is there anyone who wants to engage in any conversations, questions, comments with the speakers, whatever they've said? You have the freedom, whether to write in the chat box, speak verbally, or through the video.
Okay, I just want to ask a question. Am I audible?
Very well.
Okay, my name is Vajiha and I'm from MG Apparel, Multan. So basically, first of all, thank you very much, everyone, for giving, and a thoughtful conversation. So my question, I just want to ask a question that as I'm observing that the guest speakers are having a diverse and intensive experience. So I am a beginner in my professional life, and it's been 1.5 years. So I just want to ask that is it is feasible for me to do that certification, or should I wait and pursue my career in HR, and then I will be having that certification?
So it's a matter of eligibility. You are very much eligible because the early certification, the SHRM CP, is meant for anyone who is in the early part of the career, and you are eligible to appear for certification. Even if you don't have the experience, you can go for it. But having an experience coupled with a certification, it gives you more advantage. For the SHRM Senior Certified Professional, there's a certain time frame which is required for, but for the CP, you can go ahead. I hope it answers
Okay,
your question.
thank you. Thank you very much.
No problem. Anyone else? Okay. Okay. All right. So if there's nothing, we can move to the next speaker. Thank you so much once again, Sabah, for your useful thoughts. Okay. So our next speaker is Faiza Qureshi, Group Head people and culture, HRSC, Innovative Business Solutions, longtime friend, and again, a very enthusiastic, inspiring HR professionals. Over to you, Faiza.
Assalamu alaikum, everybody. Assalamu alaikum, Zahid Saab. Kya haal chaal hai aap logon ka? And first of all, thank you so much, Zahid Saab, for giving us this opportunity to connect and be able to share our thoughts with our fraternity members. And obviously, in case continuous learning at all ends. I mean, even though my journey with SHRM started in 2016, I'm still picking up new things from the new certificates who joined us on board and shared their learnings with us. Coming back to, I'm going to try and keep it as short as possible in the interest of time. I started, like I'd mentioned, my journey in 2016. I'd approached Zahid Saab for a certification. My primary driver back then was just two things, and that was the fact of the matter that I didn't want to do run-of-the-mill courses available in the market. I felt the HR courses available in the market were too myopic in their view. They were too tunnel visioned, and there was nothing global about them. And that is something that I didn't want to waste my time with. Fortunately for me, SHRM was being promoted. There was an individual, Azhar Ijaz, who was associated with Zahid Saab and HR Metrics. He took me through the whole rundown. Dr. Sitwat was my trainer when we were doing that batch, and Alhamdulillah managed to clear SCP in the first go. A lot of my peers over here have already shared their learnings primarily. I would like to start with an anecdote that I always mention when I'm having this speaker sessions on SHRM. I consider 2016 se pehle ka BC, which is before certification and which is the dark ages. And then you've got AC, which is after certification. Ki thoda sa dimag aapka khul gaya hai. I'm sorry, I'm keeping my language both, ताकि थोड़ा सा जरा इसको informally रहे, otherwise it gets a little too formal. अच्छा, anyhow, जो pickups point किए थे different किस्म के, a lot of our people have already shared most of them. I don't want to repeat on that unnecessarily. However, I would like to add to the table that what SHRM essentially has done for me has been able to open up my mind. It's given me a global mindset. It's given me the ability to be able to analyze a situation from both sides of the table, my own perspective and possibly what could be the perspective at the other side, so that when we reach a conclusion, we're able to come up with a holistic solution instead of something that was very myopic in its view. And that is only possible because SHRM then exposes you to various situations, various scenarios. You have a lot of learnings from your fellow peers who are sitting for that certification, and obviously the trainers impart that knowledge as well. So if anybody over here is looking for that, I understand a lot of our peers did mention that the tangible benefits do come through, the promotions come through, the money comes through. I'm going to go back to what Zahid Saab said a couple of minutes ago. If you love your job, automatically things come into play. So if you love what you're doing, the money part will flow. What's important is self-growth and what are you looking for from that certification. My own personal agenda was self-growth. I wanted to understand if I was being hindered somewhere, how do I go ahead and break those walls down? And that is what SHRM helped me do. Communication, बाकी सारे जो आपकी जो BASC की competencies है, हमारे ज़माने में it was known as BOC. I'm still trying to grasp the knowledge of BASC, but it was known as BOCK, BOC, Body of Competencies and Knowledge. So obviously it helps you break down those things. It helps you make it chewable, and obviously gives you situations and examples of how to impart that in the actual work scenario. I'm not going to say it's going to be easy. It is tough because, a lot of times back in the day, at least in today's day and age, alhamdulillah, we have enough SHRM certified professionals in various organizations. My own organization, HRSG, like Sadaf Hath said, who she was one of the first speakers, has 3 SHRM certificates. In fact, 4 if I'm not wrong. 5, sorry, I'm so sorry. 5 people who have SHRM certifications in our organization. And the talk is different. You're able to have a very different conversation with these individuals. Not taking anything away from people who are not certified. They do have that knowledge available, but SHRM gives you that edge because, like I said, global mindset khul jata hai aapka, that analytical aptitude jo aapka hota hai, wo strong hota hai. The ability to navigate through very tough situations, because as and when you grow through your career spaces, you are put in situations that call for your leadership skills, that call for your navigation skills. And that's when you go back and you rely on your SHRM certification. I hope I've managed to cover most. I just wanted to focus on a few areas because I know there are a lot of other speakers as well. Most of the earlier speakers have covered the parts. But if in case anybody feels they would like to get in touch, my LinkedIn profile is available. And good luck to everybody else. And thank you very much again, Zahid Saab.
Excellent. So first thing that really good to reconnect after a lot of time, because I think I was out of the country and not in touch. So hoping to see you once again in Karachi next month. So Faiza, it's really very inspiring, developing yourself and also helping others to develop. And I'm so glad to see HRC is expanding on the, the number of the people who speak the same language and promote the professionalism. Great. So let's move to the next speaker. With us now is Annie Arsalan. I think Annie, I can see that, a lot of growth in terms of professional development coupled with your positioning within, in the first instance, and outside the organization. And we would like to hear your story about it. Over to you. Thank you. Annie, are you there? I'm not able to hear. I think, okay, we move to the next speaker and we can come back later on. Okay, the next speaker, had certain urgent commitment. She had to leave in the middle of the session because of some kind of domestic reason. Basma Aftab, she is from British Council. And she had after, I think, achieving this certification, I could see an elevation in the her role in the organization, and it did a tremendous work on the diversity, equity, and inclusion. British Council itself is a very inclusive organization, but I think she was able to catalyze the process with the help because of her competency that she acquired. So we can go to the next speaker, Sameer Dhamani, who is head of rewards and HR shared services, Midas Safety Pakistan. I think Sameer also had the privilege of doing multiple certification, and so let's see how he has been able to operationalize those certifications in the interest of the organization in his also own growth. So over to you, Sameer.
First of all, thank you, Zaitsa, for creating this opportunity. And it's been long I'm appearing to this webinar. Last time, if I remember, I spoke on state interview techniques. So thank you very much. I am Sameer Damani. I'm head of rewards and shared services for Midas Safety Pakistan. And it's now been almost 16 years into HR profession. And I will going to speak on my personal achievements as well. But right now I'm SCP certified in 2020, and later I was fortunate to qualify ISO 30414 as well, the consultancy level certification. So I think the story started when I realized that after doing my master's degree, now I need to take another learning leap. And the learning leap should be somehow something which is more authentic, can be globally recognized. So I was doing my pre-work, and when I go to my line manager, I first thought that no, this certification or all those other typical certification might not be enough to justify that learning leap. And then I came across the SHRM SCP certification. So when I did my pre-work, I realized that the framework which is designed by the SHRM is a holistic, and it is ideal for anyone's capability development in terms of HR profession. So it covers at my time, it was actually a box. Now the term is changed, but I think that was completely holistic, and it is ideal for any HR professional to go for it. Second thing, which I realized after doing it in terms of application, you understand the principal aspects of HR issues. So one is that we solve our problems through our experiences, through our learning from others. But one is the principal way to solve the problems, which is very ideal, which is ethically proven, and which is like beneficial for the organization and for the human resource both. So when you will go through the content of the SHRM, you will understand that there is a way which is a principal way to solve the problems. So you need to understand those. So it will equip you, it will uplift you to drive those problems through a principal way. So in my case, when I was going through an ethical problem, so the first idea came across was the state interview techniques, which I learned from the SHRM SCP. So I you literally designed an entire SOP out of that stay interview technique, and I implemented in my organization. And I literally see a reduction trend in attrition. And employee also appreciated it. Management actually adopted that principle in our usual HR agenda. Second thing, when I was doing this SHRM, so I realized that total reward is my area which I inspire for. And this was the reason when I opt for the ISO 30414 as well, HR matrix. So started opting in that way as well. So I was able to revamp the entire human capital reporting system to the board level. And today we used to see the HR matrices in different way, which were being taught in the SHRM and the ISO 3041 as well. So besides that, there are also other achievements as well, but in the interest of time, I will keep it very short. The second thing which I will highlight is the credibility and the authenticity, you being as a HR leader. So when you carry those credentials, automatically you will be recognized, and your opinion and your credibility will matter from someone who is not, or you can say the mediocrity versus the meritocracy. So this the difference, the credential will bring this difference in your profile. The last thing, I think you will become a part of a bigger community. So SHRM is a community which encourage human resource professionals to carry those excellence and to carry those benchmarks as well. So you need to connect with your industry, that what is happening. So it gives you a continuous education. You are continuously abreast with the new changes. And of course, you are part of a bigger community, so you are more protected from the other HR professionals because you are a part of that identity. So with this, I think if I want to highlight my personal achievements, I think I've been holding multiple positions after this credential. The most and the biggest one which I will take is that my transition into a total rewards function. So previously at that time when I started this credential, I was HR business partner. Later, I was given an interim role into OD and talent. And now recently last year I was promoted to head of rewards and shared services as well. So with this, I would say thank you very much, Zaid sir, for bringing this opportunity to me and to all of us. And I think I would like to appreciate to do this continuous effort in the future as well. Thank you very much.
Welcome, and thank you so much for a very condensed version of your thoughts. I know there could be so many. There would be definitely plenty of accomplishments, but as we requested speakers to be as brief as possible. So you have shared with us something which is very vital: the reporting, which is now a hot debate at the board level, and how to align the reporting with the ESG, and of course the retention of the performers in the organization, and reducing the attrition part of it. Thank you so much. It's a great value addition. And once again, thanks for sharing your thoughts with us. And we look forward to more such opportunities in the future. Okay, so with us now, the next speaker is Sakleen Sher, again, another go-getter person, very widely known in the industry for his interpersonal skills and also the professionalism that he carries. So over to you, Dr. Sakleen Sher. Congratulations. In the meantime, you earned the PhD as well. So over to you. Thank you.
So good evening, and everyone. Thank you, Zahid and HR Matrix. If Adil is still there, I want to show him that I am wearing a bigger, monument, I could say. So as you,
Good. Yes.
Yeah, Adil, you have seen that? This is the bigger one.
Yeah, yes. Oh, yeah.
Okay. So I would like to share some thoughts about my personal experiences. And I am from National Bank of Pakistan and heading the modern HR practices over there right now. So in terms of the benefits, already shared by everyone, and I don't have a much exhaustive list more, but being the member of SHRM and SCP certified, this year I got opportunity from the SHRM to be part of the SHRM conference 2024 as a volunteer from Pakistan. So that was the opportunity. I gained it. And again, thanks to Mrs. Zahid He's always supporting us for everything. He is truly unleashing the potential and all. So I want to share the achievement and a recent achievement what we have got based on the leadership skill cluster of the SHRM BASC, diversity, equity, and inclusion. So if we consider these things, it is to create work environment in which all the individuals are treated fairly and respectfully, have equal access to opportunities and resources. So based on this competency, in last year, 2023, October, we started a journey with the Asian Development Bank, focusing on 4 key areas. Number 1, to attract the person with disabilities, retention and development of those person with disabilities, promoting inclusivity in the organization, and the major one, enhancing NBP's image in the market. And of course, it was also purpose to be compliant with the government mandated quota for the organizations like National Bank of Pakistan. So we have taken some key steps. Practically, all these steps are well elaborated by the SHRM certification. So I wanted to share a few of those. Like number 1 was the strategic partnership with the now PDP, Connect Here, Deaf Reach, and Purple Tuesday to drive our mission. These partnerships have been instrumental by all means for the best practices to implement and to know from the industry leaders. Then we have made some industry visits. We have been in different tours like K Electric and some other companies, some other banks. We visited over there and to see how they are attracting and they are working on these 4 lines. And we made some benchmarks, internal and external. And we have used the major benchmarks from the GDIB awards of the last year 2024 for this year 2024 as well. So based on those, we got to know that we have to work aggressively in the bank. And as you know, this is a public bank, so it's for us it was a big challenge. But thanks to my leadership, they have trusted on me and they have assigned me as a team lead for this particular project as a project manager as well. So we gone through some changes in the policies, recruitment policy and internship policy. We have made specialized program for the person with disabilities to ensure that so people who can be attracted and who can get the chances to know how a bank is operating and what is the culture and how these things, so later on they can be easily adopted. Again, we met with the all of our employees who are person with disabilities along with the leadership of the National Bank. So when we met with them, we came to know some their aspirations, career challenges, and management has taken some quick actions to resolve those challenges, what they were facing. The short-term one and the long-term one, we decided to make a plan and kill those challenges. Again, we made considerable accessibility audits throughout the organization in terms of policies and also accommodation for their systems and to sensitize the co-workers, colleagues, their managers, and we trained them. Then one aggressive step we have taken also for their promotion. We have made 5 numbers in addition to their routine numbers, and we provided the interpreters and all the facilities, whatever they required. So based on all these things, Alhamdulillah, this is the first time in Pakistan and even in the competitive different countries, MBP received the prestigious Disability Inclusion Award 2024 from the Asian Development Bank yesterday only. So it was the 3rd September, and our team, our leadership is there in Singapore, and we got it. And also, I would like to mention for 2024, we have received GDIB awards in 7 categories in the best practices level. All were the best practices level. Moreover, the last thing which I wanted to mention, while we were working on DEI, we were able to attract 24% of women employees in the workforce, which is a significant as compared to our last 75 years, which is the highest number. So we were able to attract and hire them and onboard them. So of course, this journey is too long, but SHRM and their even active membership, I got many answers for my questions through the SHRM portal and their advocates to get to know how to do this thing and how to deal with these things. So this is all about from my side. And once again, I would like to thanks to Zahid Saab, HR Metrics, and all my new terminology given by Sabah Hassan, Zoom mates. So thank you so much.
Great. Again, another set of, wonderful stories. Very impressive. Indeed, I can relate that serving an organization like it is, particularly the state-owned enterprises, the National Bank, Adil highlighted the PPL, Zari Taraqqiyati Bank, how hard it is to drive the change. And we can see a clear progression in some of the things that you do. It is publicly available on the social media. And the most important thing is the engagement of the leadership in those initiatives. That's, I think, a significant achievement. Thank you so much, Sakman, for sharing your story. So we are left with almost 3 speakers, and we expect to complete, I think, another 15 minutes. So I hope you bear with us. But if you still have some pressing engagement, we respect your choice. Our next speaker is Mr. Amjad Khan. Thank you so much, Amjad Khan, for your patience being with us. And Amjad is HR consultant in an industrial polymer group in the Saudi Arabia. He is in a process of certifying, and really, I would say, a clear practitioner who is able to translate the thing that he has learned and use it at the workplace. So over to you, Amjad Saab. Thank you.
Thank you, Zaisa. Assalamu alaikum. Hello, everyone. Thanks for giving me this opportunity and privilege to share my journey with a great audience through this webinar. Let me share my work journey. I remained stagnant in my career almost 15 years due to having a traditional HR approach where the knowledge, skills, attitude, and other characteristics were not in a great form that could rise to my behavior to perform a job task effectively. I decided to move on and enrolled in MBA in ODHRM from US, the Continental University from US in 2020, 19, 20, and 20 from the California University of US, which I completed successfully to strengthen the knowledge, skill, abilities, and other characteristics. And I secured a GP of 3.92 out of 4. But this was not the end, actually, and I started a journey of SHRM SCP certification in 2023-2024 in collaboration with Mr. Zahid Saab, the CEO of the HR Matters, and preparing the exam for the upcoming exam also. I have a strong 1 point, no doubt, passing SHRM CP or SCP exam is one of the great aspect of it, but in my view, applying its knowledge is more important and crucial to implement it at workplace in order to drive the business results effectively. And I'm happy that I used my learning and development process at my workplace through the combination of behavioral and technical competencies of SHRM. Let me give you one clear example that you will see, how I contributed in terms of the financial and other aspect also. I give, after having this, the great initiative, I give full credit to the SHRM BASC. In our group of companies in Saudi Arabia, the key managerial posts were sourced and recruited through the recruitment agency of UAE, where we used to pay to them around 15 to 20% recruitment fees of the annual gross salary, which I believe is a very expensive mode of recruitment and selection. So what I did in collaboration with our top management, I got the permission and took initiative to source, recruit, and select the key managerial position. And I'm happy that I applied the behavioral competencies of SHRM BASC at our workplace, where I designed the selection model of supervisory, middle management, management, and the top management role, with the inclusion of 9 behavioral competency model suggested by the SHRM BASC. This model helped me a lot to recruit and select the right person as per the business needs of our group of companies. By taking this great initiative in my career, we are able to save around 45,000 Saudi riyal per position. And my average is to recruit at least 6 to 8 managerial position per year at a group level in Saudi Arabia. And in recognition of this great initiative, I got 50% increase, alhamdulillah, in my salary and regular yearly bonuses also. Thank you, sir. Thank you.
Congratulations. Very well done. Super. Anything, are you done with it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Done. Thank you.
Okay, great. I think very crisp and to the point and a good, great news. Next time, whenever there's an opportunity in your organization, do let me know also to apply for that. Okay.
Thank
okay.
you, sir.
So I think this is a great cost saving for the organization. Other than the cost saving, you have a control on the process and you are able to do it indigenously. And that's how I think it can be related to a previous point, that do the thing to the best of your ability and you will be, in most likely cases, rewarded. So heartiest congratulations. This is a tremendous breakthrough and we all feel very proud of your accomplishment. Okay, so our next speaker now is Sayyid Saulat Abbas Bukhari, a lead OD HRBP Fauji Foods Pakistan. And we look forward, although Saulat, I know that not much time has passed between certification and now, but I'm sure you would have certain things to share with us, that what's your net gain, what you wanted to achieve out of it. So whatever you thought you have thought about it, please go ahead with it. Thank you.
So thank you so much, Aisa, for the opportunity. So good evening, ladies and gentlemen. So I'm really delighted to be on this platform, and I want to thank Zaitsa once again for giving me the opportunity to be amongst such learned individuals. So there have been such great words of wisdom spoken by such learned individuals. So I'll just be encompassing my experiences, what I've just had. So as a recent certified HR professional, I can truly attest the transformative role it plays in your individual development and on the organizational development also. So I'll be encompassing my discussion. I'll be very precise and concise into 3 main aspects: my experience, how it adds to the enterprise, how it adds value to the enterprise, and third, experience is concerned. As I told, I've just certified recently, G. So I believe it's not just a badge on the resume. I believe it is a cornerstone that has reshaped how I approach HR right now. So I believe there's a sense of why, there's a sense of purpose that's just kicked in. We've been doing great things in our company. But I think that why, that purpose it's just a bit more clear to me right now. So enabling me to enjoy more, enabling me to strive more, and a couple of competencies which are very close to me as of my individual capacity concerned. I think the leadership and the business acumen. The leadership that empowers us, that inspires us to motivate our teams to navigate through difficult situations, and the business acumen, which the learned individuals have already stated many of times, aligning those HR initiatives with the strategic objectives of the company. So that gave great dividends, and that gives the strategic seat to HR in those strategic decisions, I believe. Secondly, how it adds value to your enterprise, I believe there are 2 components to it. So the body of competencies, it's such vast amount of knowledge, it's such a broad HR framework aligned with the global HR practices. I believe it gives the HR professionals the initiative, I believe, how they formulate the HR strategy, the proactive approach kicks in rather than the reactive approach. And once that proactive approach kicks in, I believe you are ahead of the industry trend. And once you are ahead of the industry trend, you're no longer considered as a support function, rather as a strategic business partner to your company or to the organization. That's one thing. Second, I believe, according to me, which is very, very important, the data-driven approach. What we elicit from the body of competencies, the data-driven approach, the fact-based decision-making, the numbers, the business acumen, which we're referring to, or the streaming panelists, which they've referred to, that adds great value. So I think these two of the things add great amount of value towards the organization. And third, but not the last, making it very concise. Once you've done your SHRM certification, your influence, your expertise that go a bit notch up, or I believe a great notch up. So I think the avenue is open for you. You're ahead of your pack, and sky's the limit, I believe.
Excellent. I think quite pertinent and very useful things coming out of this conversation. So one that you said, proactivity. This is critical because traditional perception about the HR is that waits for the issue to come and it goes for the firefighting. So how to prevent the fire? That's where you are basically, the credibility comes. Another thing, staying away from the gut-based approach and talking more around the data, which is the data analytics. And so no doubt about it, what you have said, and these are, I think, the drivers of the growth. Thank you so much for sharing and being with us. Okay, so with this, we move to our next speaker. Hira, again, she's not able to make due to some commitments. And Hina Riaz, very enthusiastic. And I could see the enthusiasm during the course as well. So Hina, we would like to know your takeaway from this process. Over to you.
Okay, hi. Am I audible?
Very well.
Oh, thank you. Hello, everyone. I'm Hina Riaz. I really wanted to introduce myself because, this is my first time meeting with you guys. So I've done MBA with a silver medal, and I also got Roll of Honor in that. Then I did my MS HRM. I got, gold medal in that, Alhamdulillah, and now SHRM certified professional. So I'm a consultant, trainer, motivational speaker, and also working as the HR business partner consultant at Research Tech Private Limited. I'm more than 10 years of working experience in the field of human resource training and development, in the field of research. We have also developed with a team. We have also developed certain certification programs in case for the human resource development diploma course. So I'm basically thoroughly excited to be a part of this platform and, meeting with people who are intellectual experts in the field of HR, great minds, visionaries, and whatnot, frankly speaking. So it's a great opportunity hearing everyone's perspectives and learn from fellows from the same field, as it can broaden the vision for the future. So I'll try myself to be concise and short because, I know my colleagues has already added a lot, which is quite helpful and a great learning experience, frankly speaking. Before adding my views on how SHRM certification basically enhances the enterprise performance and career growth, I just wanted to extend my heartfelt thanks to Mr. Zahid for providing such an elite learning and networking platform, which helped us in bridging up from local to international and then to a global perspective. And HR Matrix, the whole team, they also played a pivotal role by providing the timely support, updates, which has been instrumental in achieving my desired academic and professional goals. So here, I also wanted to thank Mr. Zahid Mubarak again for choosing Mr. Umar Raza as a trainer because, because all his efforts and dedication he has vested upon us. That is why, because of his guidance, support, expertise, and all he has make us motivated throughout the whole entire course, and we are able to achieve our goals. Regarding certification, when I saw my results, so I was amazed that how the areas of strength which appeared in my result, there were interpersonal, business, people, because I consider myself as a people person, and it's always appealing for me to observe the behavior of people, to change, to bring a change in the people. So when I aced the exam, so it was a very a different, and I was quite surprised to see the results. I also wanted to mention certain roadblocks in gaining the journey of my certification because, after a gap of few years, there were certain inconsistent study habits at the start. So which was very difficult for us to keep us motivated at times. Then negative mindset, there was the fear of, non-accomplishment because from 2017, I wanted to pursue it, but, there was a fear of non-accomplishment, whether I would be able to do it or not. But somehow, it took me years to overcome this fear, and now here I am, the SHRM certified professional. How it helped my organization or how it is going to help my organization, definitely we started looking for the best practices which are existed in the market, and we have started looking for the standards in the field, and which forced us to look for the areas of the gaps, where the we have to look for where we can pinpointedly work on the areas. So because our organization is thinking to expand, and without opting for practices which are globally recognized, the company can't earn a goodwill in the international market. So another our focal area is basically to increase the employee engagement and retention by working on the proper orientation and the onboarding programs, which were there, but it was not that effective. So we have started realizing the value of the human capital in a better way, and that's why we have started investing in this program. Now we are looking forward for better, employee quality, as well as, there should be a better, the job fit and the organizational fit. There are certain external factors we are facing, everybody is facing nowadays, like the inflation, uncertainty, spike in the utility bills, the velocity, and the speed of change. But we are trying our level best to minimize the impact of these factors by working on tactics to create a more engaged workforce, so that they would be happy employees, they would be the happy people working at our workplace. Another focus area is basically learning and development. It's one of my favorite area because I'm a people person, and we are trying to develop certain strategies through which we can develop our talent and trying to figure out certain gaps in employees' competencies and skills. As we know that this is the new area of AI, and so we are trying to be proactive rather than being reactive. So we are also focusing to integrate the business acumen in our department so that we can, how can we more informed and can work strategically so that, we can have a better, our department can better integrate it into the strategic decisions. What career growth this SHRM certification has brought to me, it's basically the confidence and there's certain enhanced job prospects as well. Though in July I just cleared my certification, so I'm looking forward, my fingers are crossed. And there's also the best thing about this certification is that my professional network has been expanded. Frankly speaking, this is the beauty of this, this SHRM certification. I just wanted to wrap it up. I know that this is a lot for you guys, coping up till 9:20. So I hope that with this certification, me and my organization and everybody, we are going to bring a change in our close and fast circles through which we can apply new knowledge, skills. And I definitely wanted to lead by example, and I wanted to influence and educate others with this professional journey. And that is how I wanted to, add something of value into the organization, which I must embrace a change and also foster a culture where continuous improvement is being encouraged. And I must end up by saying thank you to everyone for being great listeners. And thank you again, Zahid Mubarak Saab, for this meeting, as there are plenty of positive takeaways from this session. Thank you so much.
Super. So I know it's quite hard to maintain your overall enthusiasm till the end, but the confidence, the satisfaction, the happiness that you have, it's quite obvious. Congratulations for the success. We look forward to benefit from your expertise, and we can also talk offline and what could be the opportunities for the engagement. By the way, next month, the program that we are planning, we wish to create an opportunity where certified professionals are able to inspire others, provide them some real life guidance, how they could change themselves and how they can help others to change. Apart from that, overall, it gave me a lot of confidence that by now we have a community and everybody is enthusiastic to upskill and reskill. So the ESG is going forward is the name of the game, where I would prefer that in the first instance, I should facilitate this community in a way to stay ahead of the curve and be a good role model. I know that the people who are in the leadership role, like Adil and others, would better understand the imperative of organizations how they intend moving on the disclosure, whether it's the internal drive or the external motivation, whatever the reason, but the organizations are moving on it. And we have the quite deeper expertise over there. So that's where I think we would like to facilitate in the first instance. I know the cost is one of the consideration, but I would like to, try to taper down that element to help our community so that keep on growing and keep on evolving. So toward the end, I think although all the interactive speaking slots are over, we have one more speaker, but we have recorded a video, and I think I would like to display the video because of the reason that I think the speaker is currently in Japan, because of the time difference, we're not able to speak live over here. It's a short video, like 3 minutes. Is the Toyoshi Hara. He's the director of the Human Resources Japan International Cooperation Agency, a big organization, global organization, having presence in all more than 145 countries, just like the USAID. She's the CHRO based over there. So let's hear to his remarks, and then we are going to conclude.
Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you are. My name is Toshihara, and I am an alumni of the SHRM CP course provided by HR Metrics this spring. I am deeply grateful to Zahid and the entire HR Metrics staff for their continuous support and guidance. I also want to extend my sincere thanks to Umair Raza Sabav, the trainer for my spring course, whose expertise and dedication were instrumental in my success. I am also grateful to my co-members whose camaraderie and shared experiences made this journey memorable. My first encounter with HR Metrics was taking the ISO 31404 Certified Professional course last year. It was then that I realized the potential of the course provided by HR Metrics to immediately apply what I learned. This realization inspired me to pursue the SHRM CP with HR Metrics. I'm working at Japan International Cooperation Agency, JICA, an executing agency of Japanese offshore development assistance. I work for Middle East countries and Southeast Asian countries, as well as stationed in Sri Lanka, Pakistan, for several years. My duty has been formulating and implementing development projects in those countries for almost 20 years. However, I want to change my career, and I learn an organization from a strategic human resource management perspective. Therefore, I started to study and prepare for the SHRM CP exam. The SHRM CP exam comprised balanced elements for being a professional in the HR field, starting from competencies, people management, workplace management, and organizational management. As expected, I gained the necessary knowledge for HR by studying for the SHRM CP exam. I could start my HR career on July 1st this year as a director of Human Resource Department at JICA headquarters in Tokyo. This SHRM certification has been instrumental in providing me with the necessary skills and knowledge to excel in my new role. It has significantly boosted my confidence by validating my expertise in the field and providing me with a comprehensive understanding of HR practices. This led me to new challenges outside my organization as well. And I decided to participate in a consortium with 48 other companies as an HR professional to seek a new career development model in Japan. During my preparation, I learned about the competencies that are crucial for the HR professional, such as leading people and fostering good relationships, through effective communication. The importance of business acumen in decision-making was also underscored. The study of diversity, equity, and inclusion, which was part of the exam preparation, further reinforced the essential role of these aspects in HR. Every learning module was designed to fit seamlessly into HR's daily practices, providing me with the confidence to make sound decisions. So I strongly recommend that you consider studying for and taking the SHRM exam with HR metrics if you're still undecided. I'm confident that this will significantly boost your career in HR and enhance your essential competencies and skills as an HR professional. I eagerly look forward to the prospect of meeting you on future occasion as a fellow SHRM certified professional, where we can share our experiences and insights. Thank you very much.
Super. So you see, this was something that was echoed by so many people, that using the same common language, the people in their different parts of the world, they have the same, you're using the same SHRM standard, and that's the beauty of the whole process. Okay, so formally we are done. I know we have, there's so many perspectives that came up. I wish there could be more time to benefit from the, your experiences in a better way. But we look forward to more opportunities. Any last question or the comment that somebody wants to have? I know the time has officially ended up and we can stop the recording, Sadia. And